Ruaki Shiki is not just a normal girl. She's a super popular idol and the granddaughter of Tao Takehiki, chairman of the massive Tikai Group, a huge corporation that holds control over Japan. Her wealth and power are on a completely different level from ordinary people, making her seem like a picture-perfect princess. In contrast, the boy's name is Kazuma Suzuki, a gloomy and plain guy with no girlfriend or even friends in general. He's basically the poster child for a social outcast. If he has any distinguishing feature, it's being the childhood friend of the great Ruataki Ashiki, and that's about it. That's why he's always lived under Rua's shadow. But he doesn't wish to be special like her. He just wants to be normal, have friends, and maybe even get a girlfriend. He once told Rua about it, and her response was, she asked if he was stupid, saying that a social outcast like him should know his place. She added that his only value was being the childhood friend of the great Rua, and that had already used up all his life's good fortune. She made sure he understood his place. Rua told him again to stay in his lane, and even added that his face should know its limits. Limits based on his birth. The words Rua had spoken to him since childhood weighed down on him like a curse. But still, yearning for normality, he welcomed the spring of his first year of high school. While reading a novel, his phone suddenly beeped with a notification. He checked it and saw a message from Rua telling him to come to the station at 3 today because she was going to karaoke with Aisha and the others. He then thought of Acha, a flashy Giru girl he had never even spoken to. Rua continued messaging him, reminding him that he had said he wanted friends and a girlfriend. She added that the best thing he could do was join the elite group and that he needed to take a step forward if he wanted to change. Kazuma thought this was his chance. He wanted to change, so he dressed up as best he could. He even gathered the courage to visit a hair salon. At the karaoke, he opened the door, ready to reveal a new version of himself. As he entered, the room was filled with Rua's friends, and everyone immediately started laughing and pointing at him. They questioned how he actually showed up, called him gross, and mocked him for even getting a haircut. The girls kept chattering, saying there was no way, and that they could even smell the salon on him. Rua then told her friends not to laugh, saying that he had tried his hardest to look good. She also laughed after that. Kazuma realized what this whole event was really about. Rua walked closer to him and asked why he was just standing there. She told him to cry for her and bet 10,000 yen that he would start bawling. Kazuma then asked if he had done something so bad that he deserved this kind of treatment. He asked again if he had done anything. Rua responded that it was obvious. She pointed at him and exclaimed that it was because he was her slave and that he should show her how pathetic he looked when frustrated. She ordered him to entertain her. With an evil smile, she added that just having someone like him as her childhood friend was already awful enough. Just like that, Kazuma felt something inside him snap. He realized that it was actually the sound of their bond breaking. He suddenly agreed with her, saying he felt the same way. He told her they should end their friendship right there and then. Rua was left stunned by his response. She started yelling, asking what he was saying, and questioning who he thought he was. He responded by asking if she hadn't just said she hated him. She shouted back, telling him not to be ridiculous and calling him an idiot. She added that he had no right, that she could hate him all she wanted, but he wasn't allowed to hate her back. Kazuma realized that this was the true peak of Japanism. To think someone like this girl was at the top of idol popularity, what a world we live in. He suddenly slammed the table and walked out. Before leaving, he reminded her that he meant every word he said. Rua was left speechless. One of her friends called Kazuma's action lame and said he should stop acting cool. Another friend told Rua she didn't need to care about Kazuma. Ayacha suddenly spotted something at the table. There were now cracks in it, and she asked if it was broken. Rua's friends started questioning whether having powers was possible. Another friend disagreed, saying it was already broken and that no one could break a table with their bare hands unless they weren't human. Another friend agreed. Rua is left shivering, and her friend asks if what's being said is true, but she doesn't respond. Rua then shouts that she'll never forgive Kazuma for ending their friendship. Kazuma feels free now. He strangely feels refreshed, and the scenery looks brighter than usual. He starts questioning why he had been taking orders from someone like Rua all this time. Now he feels he'd rather spend his high school life alone than bow before that beast in human clothing. He realizes that from now on he doesn't need to live as her shadow anymore. He is now free. That night, the chairman of the Tikai group and the headmaster of Tikai Academy, Takeshiki Tao, is seen reading papers. Rua's cousin Takushiki Sakura appears to be speaking with him. Suddenly, Rua comes up to him calling him grandfather, and he is excited to see her. She walks up while complaining that Kazuma was so mean to her today and that he told her he wanted to end their friendship. Sakura then asks Rua if that's true and adds that maybe Kazuma was just bored. Rua's anger continues to fume as she calls Kazuma a jerk and says he had never stood up to her before. Sakura looks at Rua after hearing her call Kazuma a jerk and suddenly asks if Rua might have said something terrible to him. Rua quickly denies it, saying it's not true. She adds that it's not like she only said things like because he's a slave or having him as her childhood friend is awful enough. She says, that's all she said. Sakura responds that it's quite a terrible thing to say to someone. Her grandfather agrees, saying it's natural for Kazuma to be angry after hearing that. Rua is surprised her grandfather took Kazuma's side. She quickly denies any serious intent, claiming she was just teasing him a little. She explains that as soon as Kazuma started high school, he suddenly began talking about wanting friends and a girlfriend. She asks if that isn't strange. With rage, she shouts that it isn't normal. She adds that Kazuma has her, the world's cutest Princess Rua, always by his side, yet he wants to be close with other people, especially other girls. She finds that ridiculous. She says that's why she was just a little bit mean. She argues that a little teasing never hurt anyone. She adds that no one else in this world understands him more than she does and that she loves him. Her grandfather suddenly agrees, saying she's right and that Kazuma is wrong. Sakura watches the doting side of him emerge. Sakura then comments that if Rua wants to make up, she should be the one too. Before she can finish, Rua exclaims that there's no way she'll do it. Rua then asks Sakura if she's Kazuma's mentor, suggesting that she should fix the situation somehow and make Kazuma apologize to her, the cute Rua-chan, and even make him say he loves her and kiss her. Sakura smiles and mentions that a kiss might be too much. She then asks Rua's grandfather if he plans to make Kazuma Rua's husband. He agrees, saying that's why he assigns Sakura as Kazuma's mentor to teach him combat techniques and leadership skills. He adds that Rua likes Kazuma and that someone with Kazuma's talent is rare. Sakura agrees with Kazuma's talent, saying she has never seen anyone like him. She explains that since elementary school, Kazuma's grades had always been straight threes. He deliberately got average scores to blend in with those around him. It was also he could stay in Rua's shadow. If he ever got serious, he wouldn't just get straight fives. The entire Japan and maybe even the whole world would be in an uproar. She adds that he was incredibly popular with girls, and she even had to transfer countless girls who fell for him. Yet, because of that, Kazuma has no awareness of how popular he actually is. Hearing this boosts Rua's ego, and she confidently says that it's because he belongs to her. The grandfather agrees and adds that it makes him worthy to be the heir of the Tikai group. Sakura remains silent, thinking about how now that Kazuma has ended his friendship with Rua-chan, he no longer needs to suppress his abilities in sports, academics, and even romance. Things might get very complicated. The next morning, there's a lot of chatter in the hallway about how someone named Suzuki Kazuma tried to defy Princess Rua. As Kazuma walks his way to class, he notices a desk and chair that has a piece of paper taped to them that says, "No seat for you, lol." Kazuma realizes how things are now. He had a vague idea before, but now he knows for sure. His childhood friend, the girl, the super rich Aries and popular idol, is the worst kind of person there is. Now then, in this situation, there are usually two options. Return the desk and chair to their proper positions and attend class without making a fuss. Most students would usually choose this option when facing this kind of treatment. Go to the staff room, but that's not an option for him. This is because this is Tikai Academy. Tikai Academy's mission is to cultivate S-class talent and make Tikai the best in the world. It's known to the public as the S-Class Academy. Studies, sports, entertainment. Top performers in each field receive tuition and dormitory waivers, attracting elite scholarship students from across the nation. Those with outstanding talents are considered upper class. The rest, the ordinary students, are lower class. The caste system sometimes subtly sometimes blatantly controls the school. The most famous and influential person in Takai is this girl, Princess Rua Takishiki Rua. Plus, the headmaster is her grandfather. So, of course, the bald homeroom teacher is sweet on Rua. If Kazuma brought complaints to the staff room, the outcome would be crystal clear. So he chooses option 1. Return the desk and chairs to their proper positions and attend class without making a fuss or not. Since he had already made up his mind to live alone, there was a third option. He takes out his pen and writes, "Since that's the case, I will study by myself. It's an order from Takoshiki-san, so please attend accordingly." Suzuki Kazuma. The students are left questioning if he can really do that and if he doesn't fear Princess Rua. Without another word, Kazuma walks away, feeling it would be troublesome if someone found him. Kazuma decides to go somewhere out of sight. He soon finds a quiet place and thinks of getting inside. It's the underground library, a place most students and even teachers probably don't know about. Only a bookworm like him would have heard of it from a senior in the library committee. It's the perfect secret place for now. Kazuma just wants to live a normal life since he defied Rua. Making friends or getting a girlfriend is probably impossible. If that's the case, he wants her to at least let him live peacefully by himself. As he opens another door, he finds a girl about to change her clothes. She gets freaked out. At that moment, he had no idea about the coming storm.